Hey everybody, it's Deb. Welcome to my channel, Free Spirit Intention. And today we're going to be doing a reading on the full moon, the super full moon in Taurus on November 5th, 2025. This full moon in Taurus is associated with stability, practicality, sensuality, spiritual time to focus on grounding and stability, letting go of material attachments and connecting with nature. It's a good time to reflect on values, finances, and relationships. Themes to look out for: emotional balance and stability, which we just said, financial security and abundance, self-worth and self-value, sensually, sensual, sensually and physical pleasure. Connect to nature and the physical world. This full moon in Taurus is a very potent, very strong. It's a time for spiritual growth and manifesting. Here's some things you can use to benefit from the full moon in Taurus. Okay. Moonlight meditation. Sit outside or sit at a windowsill and bask in the moonlight. Focus on breath. Let go of any thoughts and emotions. Focus on breath. So it would be like in the count of four, which you would breathe in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, and then release from 4. So breathe in. Hold for 4. 1. Release for 4. Okay. When you do that kind of breathing, it helps relax you and calm you down and stuff, and then you can go on from there. Okay, that was number 1. Let go of any thoughts and emotions. Okay, so now we're talking about gratitude. Write down what you're grateful for, then release it to the universe. Pay homage. Thank the universe, God, whoever you pray to. As you release that, show gratitude and thankfulness. Number 3, connect with nature. It's telling you to walk barefoot or simply sit down in nature. This will help you ground you with the earth's energy. Number 4, visualization. Imagine your goals and desires. Focus on abundance, stability, and prosperity. See yourself achieving your goals. Feel the emotions of success. Put yourself in the future. See yourself in the future with all these goals and desires that you're trying to manifest. And then live like you have already accomplished them, okay? Reflect what's holding you back, write it down, then burn the paper. Write it down, all the stuff that you may be having trouble with, or that you may feel that, what's in your shadow work, what things are bothering you, what things you don't like about yourself. Put that on a sheet of paper, reflect on it, burn it, and let it go. Chakra balancing, focus on your root chakra, which is associated with Taurus. Balance your energy. You can use crystals, sound healing, or meditation. Number 7, journaling. Write hopes, dreams, intentions. Reflect on your process and set new goals. These are some of the things that you can use to benefit yourself for the super full moon in Taurus. Now, I have my notes right here. I had my notes right here before, but so the super full moon is the brightest and closest to the Earth of 2025, this full moon in Taurus. It appears bigger, brighter, fuller. It intensifies our inner world, heightening emotions and deepening the call to reconnect with what truly sustains us. This is the second of the super full moons that will unfold until the end of the calendar year. Super full moons occur when the moon reaches the closest point to the Earth in orbit. They are felt more intensified. It's because it's closer. Because we are 70% water, right? And the moon affects our tides always, and also affects our you know feelings, emotions, what we think. So the moon is this full moon. We are 70% water. Our inner emotion tides are also affected by this full moon, offering us an opportunity to become more skilled at navigating our own emotional waves. Super full moon in Taurus is particularly relevant for the people born with personal placements in fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You have this in your chart. This full moon will affect you. Okay. It's going to affect everybody, but this is going to be more intense for if you have Taurus, Libra, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius in your chart. It'll affect you more than if you don't have them in your chart. It's significant shifts in the lives and shakes them out of complacency or stagnation. It's asked to release attachments that don't support your growth, and find new ways to create stability and security first and foremost within yourself. Here comes Striker. Okay, he's doing pretty good. Well, he's been sick all week, but he's getting better. So let us continue. Lay down here, baby. I knew he was behind me. Lay down. Full moons. Yes, baby. Full moons are moments of completion. When the sun fully illuminates the moon's surface, we have an opportunity to see more clarity what is moving within our own inner world. Full moons bring our emotions front and center and offer us an invitation to relate to them consciously. The sun and the moon are across each other from our perspectives on Earth, across from each other. So it's like, all right, forming a 180-degree angle, technically known as an opposition. Opposition allows us to access clarity and recognize the dance between opposing and complementary polarities. Sign of Taurus and Scorpio are activated, and we have the opportunity to examine the relationship between building foundations and destroying them, resisting change and embracing it, holding on and letting go. During the Scorpio season, we deepen our personal transformation journey. We are aware of our nature, of our desires, and of the energetic exchanges in our lives. The full moon in Taurus invites us to come back to our bodies, ground, and bring our focus towards our personal skills, resources, and talents. Interesting, huh? Let us continue. The current full moon in the sign of Taurus, the bull, is reminds us to nurture what sustains us and make sure our basic needs are met. It's asking you to slow down, ground in the present moment, and connect with a sense of inner steadiness and stability amidst internal and external changes. The Taurus Scorpio polarities highlight both our desire for change and our resistance of it. We have an opportunity to refine our capability to tell when it's time to preserve what we already built and when and instead it is time to let go and transform. So let me reread that. In this Taurus Scorpio polarity, the desire for change and our resistance to it. We have an opportunity to refine our capability to tell when it is time to preserve what we already built and when instead it is time to let it go and transform. Interesting. The Taurus full moon is opposing the true black moon Lilith, which is conjunct with the sun in Scorpio. The true black moon Lilith is the point of the moon's orbit that is the furthest away from the Earth. For this reason, when a full moon is opposing Lilith, it is the area of the moon's orbit that is closer to Earth. It is a super full moon, and that's what makes a super full moon. The true black moon Lilith has to do with our raw, wild, instinctual nature. It is the untamed side of feminine because the moon is feminine, intuition, the aspects of the feminine that chooses truth and authenticity over approval, conformity, and comfort. Yes, it's the wild side. It's the wild side that you cannot control. The feminine wild side. Okay. Working with Lilith means working on integrating parts of ourselves we have exiled because we felt ashamed of them. Anger and sexuality are strongly connected with Lilith. That's kind of interesting, huh? Yeah, I thought that's pretty wild. Okay, let's see where we're at here. The time of this full moon, the polarity between two faces of the feminine are being highlighted. The moon in Taurus represents the nurturing, soft, and material feminine. On the other hand, Lilith in Scorpio, yeah, Lilith in Scorpio, okay, represents the wild, instinctual, and raw feminine. This opposition asks you to integrate both polarities and pay attention to where we are drawn to gravitate towards one and deny fear, project, or repress the other. Yeah, interesting. Um, the Taurus full moon peaks. Taurus's ruler is Venus. It's the last degree of Libra, squaring both Jupiter in Cancer and Pluto in Aquarius. The new moon in Libra on the October 21st was also taking place at the same time. So isn't that interesting? The new moon in Libra on October 21st, what we just had 2 weeks ago, is taking the same placements. Wow, in the same sign. Isn't that it? That's very interesting. Huh. Yeah, that's very interesting. That doesn't happen very often. That the new moon and the full moon are are yeah, are in the same. We're in the same. Venus, just like the recent new moon in Libra, is squaring Jupiter in Cancer and Pluto in Aquarius. That was that's what happened 2 weeks ago. The Venus Pluto squares adds more intensity to our relationships and increasing our desire for passion and depth. Huh. It exposes what has been hidden beneath the surface of consciousness and ask us to meet the fears that cause a need to control and manipulate others. The Venus Pluto alignment asks us to allow our relationships and the depth of intimacy with others to transform us. The Venus Jupiter square invites us to notice whether we feel tempted to overgive, overspend, overindulge, and being excessively generous while unconsciously expecting to receive something in return or achieve an outcome. This aspect supports our ability to connect with abundance that is naturally available to us, as well as our willingness to share with others what we have. The Venus-Jupiter square has us notice whether we are tempted to overgive, overspend, or overindulge, be excessively generous while unconsciously expecting to receive something in return or achieve an outcome. And this ability to connect with abundance that is naturally available to us, as well as our willingness to share with others what we want. That's pretty interesting. Overindulging. Yeah, the Venus Jupiter, that's what they're saying. The Venus Jupiter is making us be like that, okay? In this, dealing with this full moon aspect, okay? It supports our ability to connect with abundance that is naturally available to us, as well as our willingness to share with others what we have. Interesting. So, dealing with this super full moon in Taurus, with the Venus and Jupiter squaring and the Venus and Pluto alignment, that's what it's doing. It are we having a tendency to overindulge, overspend, and it's all because what we want to have a willingness to share with others what we have. Interesting. Venus is forming two inconjuncts with Neptune in Pisces and Uranus in Gemini, as well as opposition Chiron in Aries, which Chiron, I do believe, will stay in Aries to 2027, I think. This results in configuration technically known as the boomerang yoga. Also resembles the alignment that was present on the new moon in Libra 2 weeks ago. See, so this full moon, it's basically almost exactly like the new moon 2 weeks ago. The placements of the planets, okay? Venus opposition with Chiron continues and deepens the healing process started back then. The focus is on wounds that affect our relationship, the way of being in relationships with others, but also on how we relate with ourselves. The themes of self-worth and self-love may merge and offer us an opportunity to tend to the parts of ourselves that learn to equate love with pain. The inconjunct between Venus, Neptune, and Uranus are an opportunity to acknowledge how and imbalance and self-abandonment have shaped our relationships, leading us to feel resentful and taken advantage of. We will feel a growing urge to liberate ourselves from situations that aren't supporting our health, our well-being, reclaim our energy, and stop carrying what is not ours to carry, or we are not responsible to carry these imbalances, self-abandonment feelings that shaped our relationships. The full moon in Taurus invites us to slow down, change to honor our natural rhythms, The full moon in Taurus reminds us that stability doesn't come from control, but from cultivating trust in ourselves, in our resilience, in life's timing, and in our ability to adapt to change. We are to embrace the part of us that wants peace and comfort, as well as the part of us that refuses to settle and feel confined. With Mars and Mercury in Sagittarius and opposing Uranus as the full moon peaks, many of us will feel drawn to make drastic decisions, have important conversations, and commit to be a radical in following what is true and authentic for us. This full moon in Taurus keeps asking us to turn inward and connect with a place within us that is stable, unchangeable, amidst any changes that may unfold. So, this new moon, the super new moon in Taurus, is a very deep, it's all about really going in and digging deep and seeing what actually is your shadow, what actually is holding you back, what happened, your childhood, the pain of childhood problems, drama, whatever. And it's asking you to go in there. And I gave you some rituals that you can do that can help. I'll go over those really fast. Yeah. Yes. So we want to make sure that we take time to keep our emotional balance and be stability, financial security and abundance, self-worth and self-care, sensuality and physical pleasure, connect to nature and the physical world. We also want to, for our spiritual growth and manifest in the moonlight, meditate, sit outside. We want to make sure that we have gratitude, write down what we're grateful for, and thank the universe, God, for all the abundance that He's given us. We want to connect with nature. We want to visualize our desires and our dreams for stability and prosperity. We want to reflect on what's holding us back. If anything, that is the whole thing that we really should try to. The more that we can do shadow work, the more stronger and more understanding of who we are on the inside. And the chakra balancing is telling you because Taurus is associated with the root chakra, and go into nature and do your breathing. Breathe in 4, hold for 4, and release for 4. This is your reading for your super full moon in Taurus, November 5th, 2025. I appreciate your time. Peace be with you all. Until the next time, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.